I love Arnold, and I love Arnold playing the Terminator, but it's not the same guy. It's not a continuation of character. So who are you going to identify with? Whose story are you going to really get behind? And for me, it was always Sarah.
I'll be back.
I personally always felt it was Sarah's story. I was interested in a mother fighting to protect her son, having a daughter myself. There is nothing stronger than that urge. So I feel this affinity to her character in a way that I never felt for Arnold's, much less John's, because John, at least in these ones, he grows up in the flash forwards that you see, or he's kind of a non-verbal hard ass with a scar. I don't really fall in love with that guy, who he is, and you get a lot of backlash from fans when you do something like shoot a kid in the chest in the opening 5 minutes of your movie, which is going to be controversial no matter who it is. But when you stop and think about why that decision has to be made, there really is no other way to do it. A character like Sarah Connor is not a happy character. You don't want to watch her be content. You don't want to watch her be happy. She needs to have tragedy. She needs to be fueled by anger and revenge. And what better rocket fuel than the death of her son? And really, she is the cause of it. If she had left well enough alone, the future would have gone on and he would have had this glorious destiny. But instead, she chose to risk it all. She threw the dice and destroyed Cyberdyne. It was probably the right thing to do, but it means the death of her son. And so that is the fuel that drives her. These action scenes kind of write themselves, when you start like solving the problem. Sarah's introduction moment, and it's a pretty complicated little piece of business. Jim wanted her to be using the shotgun that she'd used at the end of T2. I didn't think that was going to be powerful enough, so then I changed it to an automatic shotgun, which I thought was really cool. And then we had 2 Terminators, so I'm like, fuck, it's not going to be enough that she killed them both with that same thing. So then I said, what would I want to take down a metal endoskeleton? I'd want a rocket launcher. That's the only thing. Shotgun's not going to do anything against that. The best thing about that scene to me was Linda practiced, and she worked with our military advisors, and she's very focused about getting it down and making it look smooth and seamless and natural. And once she got past that moment of doing that, it was like she became Sarah Connor. She was super confident from the rest of the movie on in being Sarah. That was kind of the moment on set and in the movie where we kind of find Sarah Connor.
Talk fast.
You first.
Because Mackenzie's a Canadian, I'll echo. She's been saying this all the time on the strong female character question. I actually like what she says, which is, I'm really looking forward to the moment when we can just say strong characters, and it's not strong female characters. But you're right, it is enough of a thing, sadly, that it must be talked about. But these characters fulfill a role in the story, and they're women for different reasons. So Dani is a woman because we wanted to make her different from John. We thought the time felt right socially for this to be a woman who rises to power versus a guy. And honestly, and this is a sad statement, but if you want to give your character the biggest hill to climb, it's less advantageous to be a woman who rises to be the supreme commander than it is to make it a dude. Grace was invented by Joe Abercrombie. He just said, what if we did this protector character? And she came from the future, she was a super soldier, and she was filled with all this stolen Legion tech, and she had to take a lot of drugs to like jack up her system, and she was in pain all the time and scars everywhere. And everybody went, ooh, that's cool. And that, just because he had said she, it stuck. I told the casting director, I'm like, I know when you read the description of this character, your impulse is going to be to send me every MMA fighter who wants to be an actor, or like Gina Carano in Deadpool. It worked. Gina in this role would not work. And I know the impulse is to look for the person who fits the role physically. And what I need is a great actor, because she is, in many ways, the heart of the story. And you need to care for her the most. And Mackenzie is a fantastic actor. But she's not an athlete, or she doesn't do martial arts in her spare time. So she worked like a motherfucker, harder than anybody else. The physical training and then the makeup with the scars, it was crazy. Is it wrong that I said I couldn't eat poutine?
No.
I could.